Think being on Broadway is all glitz and glamour? Well, think again.
I didn't know really what I wanted to do in life.
My mother really pushed me to become a teacher because that was considered a good career for women. And since I wasn't a particularly great student, she thought that was something I would be able to do. So I got the degree and I hated teaching. I moved to New York and I fell into the work of wardrobe.
My first wardrobe work was with the dance company Jose Limon, and I went from there to Alvin Ailey and spent 3.5 years on the road with them, during which I got into the union, and once I was in the union, I was able to start working on Broadway.
For the first, I don't know, 6, 7 years of doing wardrobe, she kept saying, well, why don't you go back to teaching? I don't really understand what you do. And I think she simply thought I was a well-paid washerwoman. It took getting the acknowledgement from the big professionals in my business for her to accept that what I did was legitimate, and I did it well, and I think she finally recognized that I had found something that really worked for me.
And over the years, I got bigger and bigger musicals as a supervisor and ultimately ended up on Mamma Mia. Backstage on Broadway is an interesting thing. I think that when people watch a show, they don't have a clue what's going on backstage. They do notice that people have changed their clothes, but they don't really think about, well, why and where and how and who helped them. We are at Backstage at Mamma Mia, and the first thing I do when I come in is I look at the call sheet to see who's on tonight and who's out, because that'll affect my staff because they have to prepare the clothes for this evening. So they'll come in and look at that when they get here. And I want to show you some great things backstage. The first area I want to take you to is this little quick change booth. Watch your head when you go in. During the show, different people change clothes here. But what I really wanted to show you were 2 fun things on our show. One are these fabulous, fabulous boots. These are custom made. They look really treacherous, but in fact, it's our safest shoe, because look how wide the bottom is, how wide the heel is. Because it's a platform, it looks like it's a high heel, but if you put your hand right across here, it's really like 1.5 inches high heel. It's very safe, it's solid, and it's actually the safest shoe we have in the show. And the thing that gets worn with it are these jumpsuits. This is a man's jumpsuit. It is covered with, as you can see, beads. But what's unique about it is all the beads are glass. So this costume is very, very heavy. It weighs about 25 pounds. And every week, someone comes in to check to make sure the beads haven't fallen off, and if they have, they replace the beads right away. Now the next quick change area I want to take you to is right up here, and we have Douglas already pre-setting the show. Douglas is one of the dressers on the show. He's responsible for taking care of, how many men do you have?
5.
5 guys. So he prepares their clothes for tonight, and he'll lay out all their clothes at different places in the stage, and he will make sure they're dressed when they need to be dressed. When he's done with his prep, he'll go back upstairs to where the dressing rooms are, and he will make sure that all his actors have everything, and if they need something, they know to ask for Douglas to go get them. So he will spend the hour getting the clothes ready, and then during the run of the show, he'll be down here helping people change costumes. Everything gets labeled. Each actor is given a number. This is F16, that means she's a female, number 16, her actual name, and this tag says wedding hat with necklace. So even if a dresser was sick and we had a substitute dresser in, they would know that this is the location for this particular hat and that the jewelry is in the inside of the hat, ready to go. Now we're gonna go to the 3rd floor where my department is. Oh, the stairs get me every time. All right, now we're coming into the area where more dressers are doing their prep for this evening. And this is Wardrobe Central. we need to have thread and snaps and hooks and eyes and zippers. And if you see, every box is labeled with what's in it so that things run efficiently. Each drawer will tell you either the character name or the scene. Like Under Attack is a scene, Sophie is one of the leading ladies. And so if the repair person needs blue fabric for the Sophie pants, they know right where to go. And this is an essential part of maintaining wardrobe, is having the scraps. Otherwise, we would have to shop for it. It would spend a lot of time. We probably couldn't match color. So it's really important that the shops give us that. One of the fun things that I love is the beads section. Each person has a box of beads for their costumes. So I will find her box and it'll go in here, and then when the beader comes in, they know where to get the goods. So each person, this is a Sophie box, and inside are all the beads that are used on her costumes. This is called a Bible, and they're provided by the costume department, the people, not the wardrobe, but the people who do the design. So what they do is they create a book that has a picture of every single costume that's in the show. They photograph the actor straight on just so they know what kind of size and shape the person is, and then they take a picture of each costume, how it's worn. So I have a reference to know that this is always worn off the shoulder, or if a sleeve is rolled, I can always come back to this. Then what happens after this is I create my own Bible, which I call the Costume Breakdown. This is the same thing, but it's in print, and it tells me who the actor is, what act and what scene the costume is worn in, and then what the costume is with a description. She wears a gold watch with chain, worn throughout, except in Voulez-Vous and in her Super Troopers. So this means that anybody who's coming in to do the show, like a dresser who's new, or if I had an assistant covering for me, they can always go to this book and get the information that they need. And again, I think most shows have something like this because you have to have a reference to go back to. We give the actors fresh underwear every day, and most people, it would never occur to them that a person isn't wearing their own underwear, so we provide clean undergarments every performance for the actors. So those are the kinds of things that people wouldn't know, or that we only have one costume per person, or that everybody has 2 shirts and they get washed every 4 performances. There's a whole system of how we take care, and most people wouldn't even think that there's a system involved at all. So out here is where all the laundry is taken care of. Laundry is done every day of the week. We have 3 sets of undergarments for everybody, and on the wall you'll see there's lists of all kinds. This is Lisa Brescia, she's our Donna. She's P1, Principal 1, and this is everything that goes in her laundry bag. So every day there's someone who's laying out the laundry. We have a cloth that has all the names written on it in a grid. The laundry gets done and folded, and then it's put in bags. And the bags look like this. But on the back is this stretchy fabric. So this gets stretched onto a chair so the actor can just reach behind and get their undergarments that they need. At the end of the show, they can put their dirty undergarments back in the bag, and then the bag gets collected so that nobody has to handle the dirty laundry. The next day, a laundry person comes in and washes everything and puts it back in the bag. We have 3 sets, so every day is labeled. Today is Thursday. This is Thursday laundry. The dressers have picked up what they need to take to the dressing room. Tomorrow, Friday's laundry is ready. Saturday matinee's laundry is ready. So this laundry will get washed tomorrow for Saturday evening. Being a wardrobe supervisor is really about making the space work, making the actors feel comfortable, giving your dressers assignments and making them feel comfortable, and trying to make their job easy, because in a way they have the hardest job. During the show, once the show starts, most of my dressers go downstairs to the stage, or they're near the dressing rooms helping the actors. And I'm usually at my desk. Depending on the day of the week, I do different things. Sometimes I'm starting to do the payroll for the following week. Sometimes I'm doing the schedule for the following week. It's my time of day that it's quiet up here. I can make phone calls. Hey, sweetie, how are you? Good. How was your day? How come? I'm very, very organized at work, and I'd like to say that I can do that at home, but I don't, and I haven't. And I rely completely on my husband to keep things on track. He'll leave me notes to say, make appointments for this, make appointments for that, get the kids their, well visit with the doctor. And if he didn't leave me those notes, it wouldn't occur to me to actually make that phone call. So in a way, my husband Barry functions the way I do at work, which is to tell everybody what to do. And it really works well. I had a really interesting thing happen this year. My son and I were with a counselor discussing college. She was asking me what kind of work that I did, and I explained, and she said, oh, that was nighttime work. I said, yes, it was really, really a challenge and hard on the family. And my son turned to me and said, it wasn't hard on the family. And it was an amazing moment for me because I made the assumption that it's been hard on everybody. And the fact is, it's what he knew. This is what our life is. This is what our life was for him. And I guess the real hardship was on me because of what my attachment to my ideas about being a parent were. And it was a great moment. It was a great relief to me to hear him say that.
There's less of a blueprint, I feel, for gay couples in general. And so when parenting's involved, that I think you really have to sort of like create your own story, your own way that you work as a family.
Strawberry.